Welcome back to this week's episode of the Ohio Tech Report presented by Zendesk. We're excited, week 2 of the new year. Lots going on already, which is really cool to see. But today's guest and our second guest for the new year is Tom from Flyover Future. So, Tom, welcome. Thanks for joining. And if you could, share a little bit about what you and your company do.
Thanks, Chris. Flyover Future is a media company that is focusing on flyover country, which is technically the land between the coasts, but we are focusing right now sort of mid-south, Midwest, Great Lakes. Um, and we started because we felt that the Midwest was the next great opportunity, but we don't do a very good job of telling our story about the amazing stuff that goes on here every day. I mean, world-class research,
Yeah.
great startup. So we started Flyover Future, and we have 4 publications. We reach tens of thousands of readers, and super engaged audience. And it's not a boring job. There's tons of stuff going on, so it's been great.
There is, and kudos to you and the whole team for telling those stories because, as I'm sure you see, and that was the business opportunity for you all of kind of getting the message out, and that's one of the biggest things. And the executives and the founders and all the folks we work with is awareness. The hard
Right,
work is being done. It's just telling it, as you said.
precisely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so again, thanks so much, Tom, for joining. Before we begin, we do have to thank our presenting sponsor, which is Zendesk. And Zendesk was built upon a simple idea: make customer service software that's easy to use and accessible to everyone. Their customer service and engagement products are powerful and flexible and scaled to meet the needs of any business. Zendesk serves businesses across hundreds of industries with more than 145,000 paid customer accounts, offering service and support in more than 30 languages. Zendesk is headquartered in San Francisco. They operate worldwide, and you can learn more at zendesk.com. As I say, the best customer experiences are built with Zendesk. So, Tom, we're going to dive into the first story, and this is kind of some rumors and rumblings, but it's about how the greater Columbus area is believed to be in the running for a massive computer chip factory, which, if anyone has read any type of media, business publication, during COVID, we know one of the big shortages
Yeah,
is not necessarily
chips.
just toilet paper, but it's semiconductors and chips that go
Yep.
into everything from electronics that we're talking on to cars. And there's so much to it, but kind of an interesting economic development, tech focused story that we have going on now.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, it would be a pretty exciting thing to have happen. It's interesting because, and this is something that people I think, don't think about a lot anymore, is water is a big issue. Fab factories use a ton of water, and it's one of the advantages we have here in the Midwest. We have a lot of water, and there's a lot of drought happening out west, and we could go into that. But yeah, it's I thought about, well, it makes a ton of sense, and certainly you guys have the ecosystem to support it. So I think it'd be great. And Ohio is offering great incentives for companies to come do things like that, which
Yeah,
is smart.
it would be massive and kind of on a global scale, because this is a true kind of story of America where we've lost our share of, or don't have the share of, manufacturing things that are
Yeah,
globally important. So cool to see if Ohio, will land it. Again, this is kind of rumors and it hasn't been confirmed.
I
So knock
know.
on wood that it's true. But
Yeah. That
as
would
you
be
know,
very
the media,
exciting.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
don't count the chickens until they
yeah.
hatch.
Exactly,
The
exactly,
story is. So we're going to go
exactly.
to story
That's a
number
great
2,
story.
Tom,
All
which
right.
is about a Columbus biotech company called Forge, and
Yeah.
they are a gene therapy startup. They got some new investment, but they're going to be growing 400 biotech jobs in Grove City, which is a suburb just south of Columbus. But as we think about healthcare, biotech, health tech, all of that, another really important thing that's happening in the state in an important industry.
Yeah, and it's great validation for what's going on in Columbus and Greater Ohio because they have to believe that they can get the talent
Yeah.
For those 400 jobs. And we could go on a really long riff about talent, but um, I think that's great validation. And certainly Ohio um, has amazing colleges and universities all over the place and are cranking out graduates. And I think one of the tragedies about flyover country in the last 2 decades is that we've exported huge amounts of our talent to the coast.
Yep.
And so retention and bringing those people back is super important. So I think it's, that kind of investment, what happens is you start to build those ecosystems, and then people leave and they do startups and vendors come, and, that's what you really need to have something take off.
Yeah. And one of the things with, Ohio and kind of building up the tech hub that's here is just kind of the scale and the amount of companies and jobs, because you look at Silicon Valley and now places like Austin, which are kind of these second, kind of comings of tech hubs. They have a lot of companies, so they can go from one to the next and get promotions and growth opportunities, and spouses. That's a big thing. We talk with people that are in
Huge.
Silicon Valley, and it's maybe not just one job they need 2 jobs because their spouse, is going to come with them, obviously.
So you're right, except what I would counter with is we don't have the breadth that Silicon Valley has or Austin has in terms of a large number of ecosystems that they can support, but we do have really good, high quality, world-class ecosystems throughout the Midwest, right? And I think that one of the things that cities and the region needs to do is say, where are we going to plant our flag, so to speak? Yeah. Is it going to be around biotech? Because that's, obviously a huge area, or robotics, advanced manufacturing. And you start to build those ecosystems because town of people want to know, what's my next job? I've got a significant other I've got to work, that wants to be employed. But the good thing is that people want to be in cities where they can get engaged quickly and make an impact. And that's one of the great things about these Midwest cities. They're big enough to support the arts and great schools and universities, but small enough that if you need to get a meeting with the mayor, you can go meet her, right? I mean, you want to be on the orchestra board, you don't need to write $1 million check, right?
Yeah, you can really get involved and make an impact.
Super involved, make an impact. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, it really is. Well, that's story 2. We're going to go to story 3, and I'm going to offer it up a bit different since I'm talking with someone from the media. But we've talked 2 Columbus stories, and that's just where the news is in this case this week. But Tom, I'd love to hear, as we have about a minute left, what are you all interested? What are you all seeing in different parts of the state? What stories are exciting you at Flyover Future?
Well, I'm very excited about what the universities are doing, right? I mean, University of Cincinnati has got some amazing programs and initiatives going on around innovation, right? As does Ohio State, as does Miami. And I see them really upping their game. I think that the state of Ohio in general has done a really good job. I mean, we can always get better, but of supporting entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurial ecosystem in these cities, which is great. You guys have companies like Drive Capital that are making investments that we just mentioned it, and focusing on biotech. Super smart, super strategic. So everywhere we look, I mean, there's a ton of interesting stuff going on. Yeah. What's happening up at the Air Force Base with Parallax and what that is doing to Dayton. And they're going to build an ecosystem up there, right? Of very high tech, very advanced technologies. They're going to be used, presumably by the Air Force and probably other government agencies. But that's exciting too. So everywhere you look, and one of our partners just moved to Cleveland and loves it up there. Yep. And so there's a lot of energy in Ohio. You've got all the pieces. And like we were saying at the beginning, we got to get the story out, right? Yeah. And let people know that, there's world-class stuff happening in Columbus and Cincinnati and Cleveland, in Louisville, and come join the party and save a lot of money. It's interesting. Absolutely. Student debt is a huge issue. It's like, business 101, you got a lot of debt, cut your burn rate and move out of Austin.
That's a perfect ending, because we're going to have to wrap to keep it under 10 minutes.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thanks for joining. We'll tag you. We'll tag Flyover Future. We appreciate everyone for watching, and they're a great resource. So check them out. We certainly read it here at Ohio X. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks.